right. I think we're live. Yes. Hey, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. It is Monday, December 15th, 2025. Hope you're doing great. I want to talk quite a bit today about silver, commodities, precious metals. I think there are things that are important to understand when it comes to making an investment in an asset class like commodities. And especially with what we're going through with silver, a lot of what is happening right now is being suppressed from mainstream media, and you're not hearing about it, but we should be, because this is completely epic in terms of what's happening with silver. So let's go over the indexes right now. We're down slightly today. Dow is down 87, as you can see. NASDAQ is down 88. Oil is down a bit, but look at silver, up 3.21%. We're going to talk about that in detail in a moment. Bitcoin still under pressure, and I think that's going to continue. I don't think we're going to see I think the bottom of Bitcoin is going to be the lower range in the 60 to 65,000 range US. And then we've got gold up as well, 0.31%. So interesting on our streaking stock rockets. A company I've been talking about for a while is this First Majestic Silver Corp. 5-star rated, that just happened recently. It's been on it's been on this list for 9 days out of the last 2 weeks. And here, a lot of people ask me about which companies, mining companies, should they look for as they consider investing in gold or silver. And super important, especially right now look at this silver price here. Look at the chart. Just a really nice ascending pattern here. And the key with this is, no, this is not a silver squeeze. A lot of people are asking me, is the squeeze happening now? Absolutely not. This is simple supply that is not present and huge demand. So the short squeeze hasn't even started yet. Short squeeze hasn't started yet, and we're going to see where more price action is going to take place with gold and silver. And I mean, look at the returns for today. Silver up 2.93% for the month, 27% for the year, 109. I'd heard it took silver 143 days to go from 20 to 30, 143 days to go from 30 to 40, and 40 to 50 was like minimal, maybe 26 days, something like that. But 50 to 60, 12 trading days. So we're getting this compression where silver is making this move that eventually it's going to be parabolic. Like when you start to see the short squeeze kick in, which we haven't, factors to consider with this is let me get my notes. Silver carbon anode batteries by Samsung. Samsung announced earlier this year that they're going to start developing a silver carbon anode battery. That is to do a few things. Number one, it's not flammable. It's the likelihood there is minimal likelihood that there's going to be issues with this battery blowing up. To the lifetime, the lifetime of the battery exceeds what's in the marketplace now, and the drive time for cars will be able to go 8 to 900 kilometers without recharging. So this is a breakthrough with their battery technology, and it's going to require a lot of silver. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently A lot of the silver mining companies are based in Mexico, and apparently the executives from Samsung flew to Mexico this past weekend and are buying silver directly from the miners. They want to make sure they get first dibs on that silver. That's just Samsung. I mean, we're not talking about company. Then there's Tesla with their EVs. There's so many industries that this metal applies to, and they cannot find a substitute. Like it's just incredible to me that we are sitting on the verge of a breakout that we've seen in the past, but not to this extent. And the upside is virtually, I mean, there's been speculation from $100 to equal the value of the price of gold per ounce, which would be 4,300. So this thing is going, do not sell. What we're going to experience now is a lot more volatility with the price of silver. But if you've got coins, if you've got bars, things like that, if you're stacking, just hold on, hold. You do not want to be releasing at this time. Now, if you have a mining company and you're not sure, like, well, how well are our miners going to do during this time, audit the miners that you own. Here's how you do it. You go to their quarterly reports. You look up the section that's called hedging and derivatives. If your mining company used any type of hedging strategy, meaning they might have sold their silver, or when silver is trading at 20, they might already be under contract to sell it for $30 per ounce. You certainly don't want that. That's called a forward sale. If you see that in the mining company's report, run fast, because that miner has literally capped their profits at 30. Instead of looking at miners, you want a miner that has literally 100% unhedged exposure. So check that out. Obviously, the First Majestic's ticker symbol AG is a company I talk about a lot and a big believer in. They are not hedged at all. In fact, their CEO says they don't believe in hedging their position. I took a snapshot of an article yesterday where let me get to that. Their First Majestic Silver's long-standing policy is to not hedge their silver production or use derivatives to manage silver price exposure. The company's business model and guiding principle are based on the belief that investors benefit from direct exposure to the rising price of silver. So literally, like, this company is poised to do well. If I had any trepidation around this company, it would be that I think the majority, if not all, of their mining activity is in Mexico. I would have liked to see them with a primary silver miner like Canada, USA, Australia, countries like that. Because we don't know, what could happen there with, like, what's going to happen when silver hits $100 an ounce. The Mexican government can say, hey, none of that silver is going to leave here. So interesting that allegedly Samsung's executives flew directly to Mexico to pay a lot over spot. I think they were paying something like $15 over spot price for their silver. They just need it and want to make sure they get it. So we've got many, many things happening on that front where we're seeing the spot price of silver 64.07. Let me refresh that. 64.07, and the futures contracts trading slightly less, 63.79. So there's that backwardation that's happening where the current price of silver is more than the future price of silver. And that's when, when we see things like that, that's because it's just a very hot market right now. So that's why I say hold on to your silver. You don't want to be, if anything, if you can pick silver up at this level before it really makes the next big move, I think you'd be happily surprised with the returns you're going to receive. All right, weekly earnings this week, the things, companies to look for to see. Lennar Homes is Tuesday after the close tomorrow. I don't think we're going to see any great sales numbers or revenue numbers from Lennar. New homes simply aren't moving in the market today. Before the open tomorrow, it's Jabil Circuit or Jabil, and then Micron after the close. That's the big one to keep your eye on. And then you've got, let me get rid of this picture, my picture here. And then you've got Nike after the close, FedEx, CarMax before the open on Thursday, Paychex. I'll bet this Paychex company is going to perform very, very well. That'll show before the open on Friday. I just have this gut feeling about it. I think it's going to do well. Birkenstock on Thursday morning. So we've got some pretty across the board interesting earnings coming out this week. And, I think the key is to hold, like I mentioned, hold on to the silver that you've got. Look at picking up some of these miners that don't use hedging or leverage. One of my favorites is First Majestic. Obviously, I've talked about this for a long time. Just to reiterate, again, zero hedging or leverage in their portfolio. Love what the CEO is saying. I think our folks should benefit from the uprise in the price. And that's what I've got for you today. It's all, silver is the big topic. Make sure that you're doing your best to not only hold on to it, but if you can, purchase it. And I do use, I think I've mentioned this in the past, Silver Gold Bull if you're interested, but there's a lot of great providers out there of this type of thing. And I think what we're starting to see too, people ask me, well, what do I buy? It's confusing. Do I buy coins? Do I buy, bars? Like what is the thing to purchase? And I think that up until now, I've been talking about coinage. For many values, it still has monetary value, but it can also be melted. And bars, I think, might have certainly a place in your portfolio or at your home. I don't believe in storing gold or silver outside of your control because just may be very difficult to get it someday. Like we just don't know where this is going. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you look at some of these bigger bars here, like 100-ounce pure silver, when you go to this bigger type of investment, we may find that as silver continues to climb, that these can be purchased from you, like directly from you, by companies that need the silver. So if you're stacking in bars, that might be a helpful thing for you as well. A couple things that happened last Friday. Big dip in this price of silver. Forgot to mention this. It did dip down last Friday. And when we look at the week, so it had this dip, and that's because the COMEX CME group increased their margin requirements by 10%. They did this middle of the night, and a lot of traders had to come into trading the next day with a margin requirement to increase their margin and or sell out their position. Many had to sell out their position. They probably figured, well, it's at a decent price. I'll just take the profit out of there. So it really forced the hands of institutional investors, venture capitalists, big hedge firms to reduce their exposure to silver. And this isn't uncommon. This will, Singapore followed suit as well last night, middle of the night, and raised their margin requirements. Not as, I don't think it was quite 10%, but it was up there. And the government's gonna navigate this price. They've been suppressing silver for 50 years, and it's on this breakout now. And just wait till the holidays, when families are sitting around the table and talking about, oh, have you seen the price of silver? There's going to be so much more buyers entering this market if you can get it, right? Eventually, we probably won't be able to get it, but for now we can, and we can get it below $100 per ounce. And now is really the time to start stocking up on this if you haven't already. Keep adding to your position. I think you'll be happily rewarded and happily surprised, even in the next 6 months as we start to see this continue, the demand increasing. It's going to be an incredible sight to witness and to live through. We are truly living through a historic moment here. I hope you're gathering the enormity of what is taking place here in this market. So keep thriving through this. Have a phenomenal week. Thanks for your support. We're so grateful to have so many of you part of our platform, reaching out to us, giving us great feedback and ideas. We value your opinions. We take them very seriously, and we take them to heart, and we're doing everything that we can to provide you the best trading platform experience. We've been working diligently behind the scenes on the options trader program and the frequent trader program. So we're going to forecast to launch that Q1 of next year. But we, in the meantime, I'm starting a new cohort next year in options. I've got, I think, 2 spots left, something like that, 2 or 3. If you're interested, reach out, and I'm happy to share with you all the details and see if it's a good fit for you. Have a great week, everyone. See you next week. Bye for now.